going to talk about shading. Now if I draw a circle, it looks like a circle. But let's say I want this to be a ball. It still looks like a circle. But we can put a shadow on one side. So we're going to put a light source over here. So here's Mr. Sun. And we're going to make it dark on the side away from the sun. Now I'm holding my pencil a little differently here. I'm not holding it like this. I'm holding it like this, so I can get the side on there. This means instead of making a little line like this, I can make a big wide line like that. The cool thing about when you do this with your pencil for a while, it actually sharpens the tip. So if you want to do some fine detail and your pencil's getting dull, go shade for a little bit. Or get another little sheet of paper and sharpen your pencil up. A lot of artists have little sandpaper pieces that they can sharpen the tip with. So right here it's going to be really dark. And then going up here it's going to be a little bit lighter. And then it's going to be really, really light. I'm hardly pushing down at all. Except for a hot spot right there where the light's hitting. The light's actually kind of in front of it, going away from us. And then there's going to be a shadow on the ground. And that's basically how you shade. Except if you look at something realistically, it's not really going to look like this. If the light's shining on this, there's actually going to be a dark shadow in the center, and then it's going to get a little bit lighter going this way, and it's going to get lighter going this way. This side is still going to be kind of dark, but what's happening is the light is hitting this. It's also missing and it's hitting the ground and bouncing back up at it. So this is going to get some light reflected. This side won't get a whole lot of light. So actually, it won't be pitch black back here. It's going to be a little bit lighter than the center. Now, we can smooth this out. Now, some people like to use their finger and smear it. The problem when you do that, first of all, I've got smears all the way around it. Now my finger's dirty. And as I keep drawing and working with my paper's going to be all smudgy like this. If you just get a piece of paper, you can tighten this thing up like this. We call this a shading stump. And you can make one of these out of regular paper or paper towels, and you can blend your shadow with this. And you have a lot better control. You're right, if I use my finger, I can't really see what's under my finger because my finger's in the way. But this, I can see what I'm doing, and it keeps my hands clean. And the gunk in here, I can actually put that someplace else if I needed to. And my paper stays clean. So let's draw a cone. We're going to draw 3 dots. Now these lines, we're going to draw a curved line like a smile from dot to dot. And we're going to draw a curved line like a frown from dot to dot. And then these 2 lines will be straight. Now, inside the cone, we're not going to see this line. Unless it's made out of glass or something, we're not going to see this line at all. It's there, we just can't see it. Now, we have to be careful if we use an eraser. So all these little eraser crumbs, those have to go away because they'll mess up our shading. Right, now I'm going to go put a light back over here. And the light is going to hit this side and be nice and white. This is going to be really, really bright. And then it's going to get darker as we go around to here. This point right here is as far away from the light as we can get. So it's going to be really dark right there. And then to the sides of it, it's going to get a little bit lighter. And then as we get closer to the source, it's going to get lighter yet. And then it's going to get so light you can barely make a mark with it. And then right here it's going to be totally paper colored. And then from here we can kind of go over it with a pencil and see if we can smooth it out as much as we can. And then we'll take our stump and smooth it out the rest of the way. And now our shadow is going to hit right about there and right about here behind it. And the point is going to go right through here like that. So this back section here, from here going directly away from the light, there's our point. And this is all going to be dark. Now, let's go draw a cube. Easy way to draw a cube. Let's draw a straight line. And let's draw a line that goes up kind of, and a line that goes up kind of. And then right here, let's draw a line that goes up not as much. See how they're getting closer together? We'll put a dot right there. And there's our cube. Let's go put the light for the cube over here. It's going to be really dark here, and it's not going to go dark to light because it's not a curved surface. This is just going to be one solid dark. Now this side is going to get some light. And we'll pretend that this gets a lot of light, so this is going to be completely white. And then we look at our sun, and we make a shadow line. And this shadow should be about as dark as this. So here's a ball that's about to hit the ground because the shadow doesn't touch it, so it's kind of floating. Now, the great thing about shadow is we can draw things without using lines. Because instead of drawing lines on things like this, we can just have areas of light and dark. So I'm going to draw some lines anyway, but they're going to be very light. So those construction lines I made have kind of disappeared into the shading. Now this one here, if I want this to be totally white, I can't have the background totally white. So I'm going to shade everything else. There. See, this actually, you can't really see lines on it. You don't really see lines around things in real life anyway. You just see areas of value. You see light and you see dark and you see color, but you really don't see lines around things. And so if you can draw with shading, then you can make more realistic drawings because you don't have to have lines that show where the edges of things are. This is really good when drawing things on somebody's face. Like, for example, the nose. Remember how we tried to draw a nose earlier, and we want to use as few lines as possible to draw a nose? If you try to draw a nose with lines, then it looks really, really bad. It looks like the nose is hanging, and it's like, it doesn't look right. Your nose does not really have any hard lines in it. Your nose is defined by shadow. So if we wanted to draw somebody's face, here's a very simple face. If I want to draw the nose and I can shade, I'm going to put a dark area on one side of the nose like this, and it's going to come under the eye. And there'll be a little shadow here. And then we can also define the cheekbones with a little bit of shadow. And the side of the mouth. And the shadow under the lip and under the chin. Now you have to be careful when shading somebody's face, because if you're not totally smooth, it can just look dirty. Or it might look like they've got a beard on. Like this one looks like she's got a 5 o'clock shadow here. So what I'm going to need to do is shade more of the face. So to make something else look brighter, like the side of the nose where the light's hitting it, I have to make something else darker. Now, with drawing a face, I can use some lines like for the eyes, because the eyelashes and the eyelids actually have kind of a defined area. But for the nose, I can show this completely with just shading and not use lines at all, except as construction lines. So once you shade more of this, you see this looks a little better because this is no longer the darkest part. So that was shading. What you should do now is practice actually shading some things. Now, I've noticed a lot of people have a hard time going dark to light. And so there's a couple of exercises you can do. And one is to go really dark. And then as you go push down less hard. And it's going to get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Like that. And then try it again. Because this takes some skill. If all you've been doing with a pencil is writing, you're used to just grinding that pencil into the paper. Drawing light takes some practice. You can also try to go light to dark the other way, where you push down harder and harder and harder and harder. I find it's easier to go dark to light myself. Another thing that we can do is draw some boxes where this is totally black and this is totally white. So this is going to be kind of between the two. And you're going to make a value between these two. And then we need to make a value between these two. And once you do that a couple of times, try doing something like a cube or just do a ball. Make it dark on one side, push down really, really hard. And then get this area, don't push down as hard. And then if the light is by you might see a little hot spot right there. You can even come in with an eraser and make sure that's nice and hot. Now we can do some other stuff with this also. We can do chrome. Something reflective is going to see the horizon behind us. Maybe a couple of mountains in there. And then it's going to be kind of dark and then lighten up this way. And then up here we're seeing the top of the sky, which is usually kind of a richer blue. And then it's going to lighten up as we go down like this. And now we have kind of a thing made out of chrome or shiny metal. If you like this lesson, please give me comments. If you'd like to see something else, leave me some comments and I will make a lesson based on that. But thank you for watching. If you do like this, leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.